the Slip and Dip podcast.
Oh, beautiful, man. What's going on, people? Welcome to Slip and Dip channel. Live discussion tonight. Conor Khabib drama continues. It's deja vu all over again. Feels like we're back in 2018 before the first fight with all this madness going on. Matthew Wells, Kendrick Johnson. We're going to break it down for you a little bit. So Kendrick, considering all the stuff that happened, the first go around between these two gentlemen.
I was there in Brooklyn.
Yeah. And the fight itself went down, and obviously you know what happened immediately after the fight. I mean, of course, all the build up to it and everything. What's your first? I mean, is it surprising to see this stuff still going on for you?
No, because I'm tired of these people in the MMA community. This is not what our sport's about. It's not what the sport's about. But we're talking. This is not a regular sport. We're talking about people that hurt people for a living. This is the hurt business. And more importantly, these guys are from the European side of the world. They're about that life. Now you're seeing real life stuff go out the octagon into the streets. Like if the Brooklyn incident, I've told you a million times, if the same thing happens in Brooklyn, happens in Russia or Ireland, this is not even in the local newspaper. That's what them people do over there. They have no filter, they give no Fs, and they're about that life. And both these dudes are multi-millionaires with a bunch of people that support them in their crews who would shoot for them or kill somebody for them. So what you expect?
I disagree.
This is more than just fighting. This is not about the octagon.
I disagree that it wouldn't be in the newspaper because they're still celebrities. It would be in the newspaper anywhere in the world.
Nobody goes to jail. I guarantee you that if it's outside of America.
I don't know about that either. But so
you don't want to see it.
Let's get into it why we're actually doing this, because yeah, they talk shit back and forth, yada yada. That's nothing new, but the Twitter beef has reached these levels to where it's kind of concerning. I guess we'll show Conor's. Let me back up before we actually get into the latest tweets, right? Artem Lobov is the reason all this shit jumped off from the very beginning. The first time around, and I think this really set Conor off this time around too. Because the thing with Paulie and Artem happened a couple of days ago. We saw the video, I don't have it pulled up, where Paulie and Artem get into it. You see Rumble Johnson holding him back while he's still recording. That shit was hilarious. But Artem, of course, gets hit again. The first time was Khabib, cornering Artem, and then Conor flew across the globe, yada, yada, yada. You all know the story. Dolly through the bus. Story writes itself after that, right? So this time, it's Paulie who does something to Artem, and of course, that leads to the firestorm of just photos being spewed across Conor's timeline from the sparring match that took well before the Floyd Mayweather fight. And it's just like he unleashed, like, what is it, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 photos of this sparring match between Paulie and Conor. And every single one of them, of course, is Conor getting his licks in, right? And, of course, that spewed that whole thing with Paulie saying, hey, release the whole footage. Why are we still on this? Yada, yada. Agreed. Get over that. I guess that's his response, that he's not flying across the globe for this one, right? To take care of this one. But what I think that really sets off was it really kind of sparked that thing between him and Khabib again as well. Start bringing up old memories, maybe. I don't know. But we see Conor, of course, throw out this tweet, which has since been deleted. Got it pulled up from the TMZ website. Conor McGregor, picture of Khabib and his wife. I guess it was at their wedding. And, his wife is completely veiled, as is customary per their religion. And he says, your wife is a towel mate. Right? Which is highly, highly disrespectful, not only to his family, but to his religion. And
Shocker, are you shocked?
Religion and family is off limits, bro. I mean, you gotta keep that.
Did you not listen to the lead up to the last fight, though? Did you not watch
Yes.
the lead up?
And I was saying the same thing then. It was off
I don't-
limits. It was off limits. You gotta leave that stuff.
Right, I agree with you, but he don't care. It's like it's already established. He don't care, and the UFC don't care.
We'll,
Like Dana said,
we'll
this
get
is
to the
not the
UFC in a
first or
minute.
last time people will say bad things about each other before they fight or after they fight.
Right. We'll get to the UFC in a minute. But obviously, Conor said this, and I may get the whole timeline mixed up here, but then Khabib clapped back with this photo of Conor and this woman who is considered to be by some people the woman that has charged him, or not has charged him, but has alleged this attack that took place. We don't know for sure. We don't know what happened there. We don't know who the woman is. Conor's never been charged with anything. He was arrested and released. No charges have been filed. Yada yada yada. You know the story if you're reading up on your stuff. Rapist, you are a rapist. You are a hypocrite who is responsible for your actions. Justice will find you. We will see at the Notorious MMA. And you see the photo right there on the screen for you. Okay. So we got one guy attacking the man's wife, the man's religion. The other one throwing out these allegations of him being a rapist in this climate, this Me Too moment, like where, these are hot button topics, right? Starts to go over the line. It's a little bit over the line right now because this is when you start to get into things like, okay, we all know Khabib is really about that life, like you always say, right? I mean, that was evident. It's been evident because he cornered Conor's best friend in the hotel with his posse around him, right? That's a threat outside of the cage. Khabib beats Conor inside of the cage and still is not done. That's still not enough for him. Jumps over the cage. It was like, I need more of this. And I'm going to go flying eagle, literally, off the cage and jump onto your teammates.
Exactly what he did.
So this whole thing sparking up again is bad news because, and then you see this latest tweet from Khabib at Notorious MMA. If you think that insulting entire religion, you be safe, you are mistaken. This red flags right here. Like, this is enough. You gotta cut the shit off. Because this is the kind of stuff that leads to someone getting hurt outside of not only outside of the octagon, but outside of a whole UFC event, outside of a whole fight week.
Well, why are we talking about hurt? Somebody may get killed, bro.
I'm saying, yeah. I mean, being killed is hurt.
Like I said, he's talking about some people that's surrounded by some real gangsters. Both of them.
Yeah, I mean, being hurt is on the
Exactly.
lower end of the scale, right? So we got to start looking at, like, okay, what do we do here? Because these are two guys, obviously. The beef is well documented. What can the UFC do? What can the people, I guess, responsible in a way of creating this environment for these two? Surely the UFC bears some responsibility, right?
No.
No?
These like for instance, if me and you were to go to Vegas and get to it with somebody, our parents are responsible for us whooping somebody's ass or getting some beats in the streets of Las Vegas.
That's completely different.
These two grown people.
Vegas would have nothing to do with me or you being there, other than it just existing. UFC is a organization that created a fight between these two, which of course has led to this beef. And then,
but they already fought. And supposed to got out of the octagon. Well, so you want the UFC to do? These are grown, multi-million-dollar men doing multi-million-dollar gangster things. That's not on the UFC.
Here's why it's part of on the UFC. Because when Conor ran up and threw that dolly on the bus, the UFC didn't do anything about it. They didn't do anything about it. They didn't say, Conor, we're slapping you with a 2-year suspension, yada, yada, yada. This is not conduct. We don't want our athletes following, yada, yada, yada. They didn't do anything about it. They didn't do anything.
There's no CBA in that.
They used that
the NFL.
For promotional footage.
This ain't the NFL, though. There's no CBA or the commissioner can suspend somebody. There's nothing tying. So what? That would set a bad precedent if they had done that.
Whoa! How that set a bad precedent for them punishing Conor for throwing a dolly in a bus full of fighters and UFC staff? How would that set a bad precedent for them suspending him for that? That would set a perfect precedent.
Under what ground?
Them doing nothing is a bad precedent.
And at the legal system, how you gonna get? Why they gonna do something that the legal system didn't do?
The legal system did do something.
Yeah, get a little boo-boo
Connor's
fine.
lawyers
They give him a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, of course, because he's got high-powered lawyers that's gonna work the system.
Why would the UFC penalize themselves though? With all this money that we can make, let's not do that.
They use the stuff for promotional footage, so yeah, they're not going to cut off their own money supply, and again, that's part of the problem here.
Yeah,
they allow
that's Will Harris, anatomy of the fighter. He's the one that got that footage, people.
Yeah, he got the in the bus footage. He got the inside the bus footage. Yeah, that's part of the problem though, because they didn't do anything in that moment to say, nah, y'all can't do this. This is not going to be tolerated here. They let Conor throw that dollar on the bus. He did the legal thing, and you know what? Hey, let's still fight. And then that leads to moments like Khabib jumping out of the cage and still attacking his team.
Do you really think that would have shut things down? We can't do that. We go like, what about the suspensions with Nevada? Both of them are currently suspended right now. Nobody's saying about that. It's not stopping them.
The only thing that the UFC did, I guess, in retaliation to that whole incident the first time around, was have the press conference closed to the public. Because they were worried about fans getting too riled up. They didn't do anything to either fighter. They said, you know what? We're still making this money, baby. We're still making this money. That's it.
Are you surprised?
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised, but that's part of the problem. Like, they've got to handle these things differently. They have to handle these things differently, especially when they know what type of people you're dealing with. Like you mentioned. You know, you're dealing with some real dudes that's gonna like. Hey,
that's because this happens all the time in boxing. They don't be like, "Hey, Canelo, your camp can't say nothing about Mayweather, even though Mayweather got 8 felons as his posse." They don't do that.
Right, and that's
part of combat sports.
That's part of the thing that came up is that people were saying. Should the commission step in here? But that's that weird thing where it's like you don't want the commission censoring your fighters or censoring fighters, period. Like that creates some weird thing.
It's the opposite side of not having no union or something. They had a union and stuff. They could take these steps that are amicable and make sense. So there's not. It's the Wild Wild West, brother. Everything pro wrestling. You know about that. Dude, Episode 68.
Yeah, I mean, this is not pro wrestling though. This is real
life.
Like,
cats might get shot at. This is real life.
Yeah, like if you saw WWE Raw on Monday, or I think it was on Monday when they did this stupid ass skit. Yeah, it was on Monday when they had Ronda and Becky.
I heard about it. They all went to jail.
They all got fake arrested, and they're all busting through, like breaking out of cops' custody and all this shit. Meanwhile, we got real people getting gunned down for sleeping in their own cars. Vince is so tone deaf on that kind of stuff, but that's a whole nother conversation I won't get into right now. But yeah, like they got that whole fake thing going on. And then like over here, UFC side, you just like letting all this stuff fly, man. Letting all this stuff fly. And I will give a shout out to Kevin Iole because he did apparently reach out to the UFC, and they did say that they reached out to both sides of Conor and Khabib to tell them to kind of, hey, chill out on this. So finally, we got something. Finally, we got some intervention there. And that's why you see half of these tweets being deleted. And that's, of course, nothing ever stays dead on the internet. That's why we have screenshots. Case in point, that video I got of Colby a few weeks back. But it's just a bad precedent all in all, man, to have this kind of thing go on. And it's, when we have all these fighters that we were talking to over the weekend, talking about all these humble things, being, good role models for the sport, being humble, being friends with everybody. Like, that's what it's all about, right? It's all about competition at the end of the day. Like, I appreciate good trash talk. I'm sure everybody appreciates good trash talk. Funny, witty trash talk that requires effort.
That many people can talk trash, though, in MMA.
Absolutely. Not many people. Not many people can. But to not have, there's a line there. There's a line there and you can't really cross it. And they both crossed it with this. Going after your family. I mean, that's always like anytime you'd see anybody talk about, when is enough, where are we drawing these lines? It's usually family and religion. They're usually those lines you don't go after. And again, that was a line that was crossed the first time around. And
it was no repercussions.
Exactly. No repercussions, right? And, you know, Conor's just been taking all these jabs, right? All these jabs, you know, going after them about Khabib's training partners. 2 out of the 3 in this picture getting busted for steroid abuse at Jeff Nowitzki, yada, yada. But to Khabib's defense there, he's like one of the most tested athletes in the UFC. He comes back clean every time. Not saying that he can't. I mean, I'm not accusing him of anything. He beats the test, passes the test rather, passes the test. You know, that's what it is. But people, the larger thing, I guess, that people are trying to get out of there, some people are trying to get out of this, is that this is all, you know, setting up for a rematch between the two.
You think?
We don't need a rematch between the two. There's no reason to have a rematch between the two. Can you think of one good reason why we should have this rematch?
It's gonna make a lot of money and break all-time records for the UFC. You don't become a billion-dollar conglomerate by not doing stuff that makes money.
True. And unfortunately, that's the kind of like that's the era we're in right now. You know,
how you think fools get a shot? They barely in the top. They beat one person in the top 10. And they skip people in the top 5. It's like, I don't even fight top 5. I'll go straight to champion. I talk noise, or I say my balls are hot, and I get a shot. Like, you know, like,
yeah,
crazier things have happened than this.
That's true. That is.
And they got 2. I would say they're 2 of the top 5 combat sports fighters in the world right now. Their names, they're right up there with Canelo, and I don't know name even maybe Joshua and Wilder, but other than that, them names in boxing, I don't think there's any other names in combat sports bigger than these 2 guys.
Conor was like, wasn't he like top 5 when ESPN did like a?
I would say the top names in combat sports right now are McGregor and Canelo.
I'm talking about athletes. Period. He was like a top 5 athlete. Period in the world right now.
Oh, that was making money because of the money he made from the Mayweather fight.
I don't think it was talking about money. I think it was talking about like recognizable names in the sport. If I can find it, I'll find it and I'll.
But he's definitely top 2 in the world behind him or Canelo, give or take your flavor.
Combat sports, yes, for sure. But you know, anybody in the chat, if you can give me a good reason why, besides making money, why this fight should happen, please drop it in.
No. There's no, from a competitive aspect. No, there's no reason.
Yeah, exactly. Conor got absolutely smashed in the first fight. Smashed. It was ugly. It was like Woodley and Usman. Except for I don't think Conor had a bad night. I think Khabib really just is that much better, at least in implementing that style of game onto an opponent. Conor currently sits number 2 in the lightweight rankings. Currently number 2. And we have an interim title fight coming up, right? Between Dustin and Max Holloway. Tony Ferguson's still out there, currently ranked number 1. Obviously, he's going through some things. Khabib is suspended till July, right?
Yeah.
Rumored to come back in September. There's rumors floating around out there that they're going to do something in Abu Dhabi, which I guess that would be cool. But you know, who's he going to fight? They're not doing a Conor fight out there. They will not do that out there.
No.
So that's very interesting. But there's no good reason to have this rematch whatsoever. So that whole angle about them trying to do this, it could be smart for Conor. I mean, it is smart on Conor's end just to keep his name out there, right? And keep his name as real prevalent to garner up interest. You know, I'm sure if you asked anybody that knows anything remotely about either one of these 2 fighters, they're going to say that this is the matchup that they want to see because of the drama. If you ask any casual out there. And unfortunately, that's going to be the way it goes. You know, I don't think we see Conor fighting anybody besides Khabib. Right?
Right.
Because merit is out the window these days. Merit is out the window. Like you said, you know, it don't matter where you are in the rankings. They'll just slide you up. You know, if need be.
Or you need something that's got a little buzz. It'll slide you up more than your fighting skills.
Shoot, I mean, you really don't even need buzz. I mean, Ali Quinta got a title shot on a day's notice, not even a day's notice.
But that was by default, though. He was in the right place, right time.
I know. That's part of the game. That's why I mean, listen, if you're a fighter and you're fighting in the same weight class, when there is a title fight in the main event in your same weight class, you better come in at that 155 or that 170. Or
you don't have to get ready if you stay ready.
Don't come in that pound over. Exactly. You never know what could happen.
Yeah, them dudes stay ready.
Yeah, they stay ready. Absolutely. Where was I going with that? Where was I going with that? I lost my train of thought.
At Mr. M1's art for being random.
No, yeah, I kind of went on a little tangent there about something, and I forgot where I was going. But yeah, rematch doesn't need to happen, and obviously it's smart for Conor. That's what I was getting at. It was smart for Conor to keep his name out there because I don't see him taking any other fight besides the one with Khabib, any other big fight that's just going to make a ton of money because that's what Conor is still in the game for. And we are what? How long are we? We're 22 minutes into this, and we have not mentioned the fact that Conor tweeted out he retired. That's one of the things that a lot of people are just glossing over. So apparently the retirement is done. And if you believe his tweets, his most recent tweet, his latest tweet that's not deleted, the one that's still up, that's a complete change of heart. I want to move forward with all my fans, face, all backgrounds, all face challenges to be our best selves. It is one world, one for all. Now see you in the octagon. I guess that's saying, hey, my retirement is done. That lasted under the 2-week limit. Pay me my money, Kendrick.
He ain't said nothing about fighting, though.
He said, now see you in the octagon. What else does that mean? he ain't going to be in there as a guest
just like he made a tweet about, I'm back. He can do it again.
That's it.
I'm now tweet about I'm back.
The octagon. That is saying I'm back. Would you want him to go Anderson Silva? I back. Trust me, I back.
I'm looking at some of these journalists on Twitter talking about that the promotion should have a code of conduct more than just a guideline. You can't have that when there's no legal agreement. There's no CBA. Y'all thinking this is a real sport? That's like I be telling you all the time.
They do have a code of conduct,
there's no union. There's no bargaining agreement. So what would this code of conduct be for? Like why?
They have one.
There's legal binding. Like they always say, the MMA say the UFC I should say, and I'm pretty sure Bellator and everybody the promotions, everybody's an independent contractor. You can't have code of conduct when you have independent contractors as your workers.
Well, that
according to them,
that ties all the way into the entire argument that is headed up by one Leslie Smith and Project Spirit.
Oh, yeah. I, for sure. But in this case, it's the opposite side of it. They can't. Even if the UFC really wanted to, they couldn't do that.
I have it pulled up right here. UFC Fighter Conduct Policy. It is a document that is easily searchable on Google, people. It is out there. 5 pages long, UFC Code of Conduct. It is a thing. That is why the whole argument about these guys trying to be classified as employees, because they are held to all of these standards that should not be applied to an independent contractor. They're held to all these things. They're forced to wear Reebok. They're, like they have all these appearances, yada yada. Like they have to do all this stuff that would essentially qualify them as an employee. They can't fight anywhere else when they're under contract with the UFC. Like things like that. So many things.
You too don't have to sign that contract though.
Go to projectspearhead.com and you can read up all about that stuff. But yes, this is a document that's out there. Criminal offenses, including but not limited to. Wow, first one. Discipline may be imposed for misconduct. Wow. Funny how that one was just glossed over last year. Jeez. Right. Yeah, unlawful possession of a gun or other weapon. Okay.
To him?
Yeah.
And she's a little lady?
Yes. 100%.
That's funny.
100%. Yeah, no, he was, I don't know if you watched the interview on that, on Fansided, but he said he presented her the belt just to tell her, because, she's got a title fight coming up, so he was trying to tell her to get a good feel for that. Use that as motivation, so you know what it feels like to have that around your waist. It was a really good moment that he was trying to share right there. But yeah, neither here nor there. What else were we talking about? Obviously, this code of conduct. Yeah, man. Like, you can't. I agree with you. Like, you're not supposed to have these kind of things and not call these guys employees, but that's essentially what they are, right? And that's why I said, if they're gonna have all these things, and you're not gonna say anything to either one of these guys when they start spouting off and going across the line on all this stuff across social media, you gotta intervene there. Like, you have a document right here that says these are things you should not be doing. But you know, and again, like I said, they did reach out and they did comment, or Kevin Iole did get a comment from them saying that they did reach out. Right. So good on him, and good on the UFC. Disciplinary process. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. So that's where we're.
I think business is just picking up, brother. Business is just picking up at the UFC. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
And what? Okay. I don't see how this benefits anybody, though. You know,
I say it did. I didn't say all that now.
I mean, yeah, the UFC could use it to turn a quick profit, right? But again, you're going to be using, like, let's say if they do some magical way, go with a rematch between Conor and Khabib next for some, you know, insane reason. Do you think these tweets won't be used in the promo footage? Do you think they won't be?
But here's the thing, though. If somebody like yourself, you're that offended, you don't have to watch. You too can watch something else on your TV.
It's not about being offended. It's not about being offended. It's not.
So what's the big deal about it then? Why draw attention to it if somebody's gonna watch? What's the big deal? They have a choice.
It's all
you don't have to watch it.
It's all extracurricular things surrounded around an athletic competition.
Right, but you don't. But again, you don't have to watch. You too can change your TV channel.
That doesn't make it right, though. Just because you have the option of changing the channel does not make it right in how these athletes should conduct themselves, especially when they are walking around touting themselves as being this organization that's trying to compete with the big four in the world.
Hey, that's what happens when you don't got CBAs and unions.
You're on ESPN now. Yeah, you're a combat sport, but still, like, you don't run around doing this kind of stuff. But
ESPN
threats on people's lives, and well, nobody made a threat on anybody's life just yet. And I don't think we're going to get there. But talking about people's religion, talking about their wives, talking about allegations that have not been proven yet.
No, it's not the right thing to do. But all this stuff, ESPN can't be too, man. It's on First Take. It's on Tony Kornheiser and my guy Michael Wilbon. So.
Of course they're going to be talking about it. Of course they're going to talk about it. You know why?
They can't be too offended.
They're going to talk about it because it's getting retweets. It's getting all these likes. It's sparking this conversation. It's sparking this live stream right now. So we're part of the problem too because we're talking about it.
Get off the stream, then.
We're about to. No, but I mean, you know, it's a thing that we don't need it in the sport, man. We really don't. We really don't. Like, there's ways to do trash talk, and everybody knows that. You can trash talk. You can keep it funny. I mean, they should take notes from battle rappers. Go pull up some battle raps on YouTube.
But these dudes are not trash talking though. This is real life.
That's what I'm saying. They like, listen. Go watch some battle raps. Go get some punchlines, and then go see everybody dab each other up at the end of the battle rap when they're even talking about killing each other, shooting off, letting the text fly, and all this kind of crap. Like, I've been watching a lot of battle raps over the past few weeks.
they got you crunk.
They do, but at the end of it, what happens at the end of it? Most of the time, I'm gonna say all of the time because sometimes it does lead to blows when good dudes can't handle words, right? But most of the times, at the end of the battle rap, dudes dab each other up. Sometimes they're laughing with each other, like, yo, that was some good, you know. This kind of stuff, though, right here, we don't need this. We don't need this. Leave that over there somewhere. Leave that over there somewhere. Leave that over there. I don't know, man. I think they definitely crossed the line with this. And that's really where we're at.
I just got one question. So if they fight again, are you watching?
Again, that has nothing to do with any of this. Of course you're gonna watch. Of course.
You don't have to. Why you be a coach? You don't have to.
again, like that argument, like it doesn't make any sense to me because it has nothing to do with the actual competition, and that's what this whole deal is about. I watched fights because I
I don't
watched
think
for
it's
the
about the
competition.
competition though. That's what they were getting. Like I said, these dudes about that life for real. Had nothing to do by no octagon.
It does though, because
Because
that's where
he pulled
everything
that
started.
when he did the eagle fly. It's
Yeah,
not about the competition.
it's certainly not about the competition for Khabib because we all saw that firsthand. And again, it started from Artem again. We can't forget who sparked the whole thing off. Conor being ultra loyal to his buddy Artem, which is incredible. You know, get you some friends like that. That's what you need in your life for sure. But it wasn't Khabib that cornered him in the lobby first. It was because of Artem saying some things about Khabib, which led to that confrontation in the hotel. And then, of course, all the events unfold and lead us to April 4th, 2019, where it seems like it's deja vu all over again. I'm just really concerned, man. I'm glad at least the UFC has appeared to intervene this time, and we won't see any other Dali incidents. So
I think we're just getting started. It's gonna get crazier.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Hopefully, let's see things smooth out. Let's see things get back to some sense of normalcy. What I want to see is Conor McGregor back in the octagon. I want to see him take a contender fight. Exercise your way back up, man. That's what Tyron Woodley's having to do. Man defended his belt 5 times, and he's going to have to take a fight against someone that is not the champion or not even a #1 contender. So, yeah, that's where we're at. And before we do get out of here, I do want to bring up one more thing, completely unrelated. I don't know if you've seen this. Have you seen this? The new video TMZ put out.
Yeah. Well, Ali being the instigator, not Ali.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw it this morning.
Ali, okay, this is my whole deal, right?
There's no gonna be repercussions, so
And
I don't
this,
see why it's a big deal. There's no repercussions. It's like dealing with the kid. If there are repercussions, they're gonna keep doing the same thing.
that's part of the problem. And that's also that's one of the that is one of the point I was trying to get to earlier that when I lost my train of thought, right? Okay. Who else is involved in the Conor and Khabib situation? Who is Khabib's manager? What is Khabib's manager doing in this video that's playing right now? He would be an extremely, extremely dangerous part of this thing because he's liable to do some shit like this.
All right.
So you
But
can't
evidently
have,
the UFC's cool with that.
and that's a problem. That needs to be addressed.
What you gonna do though? The people that got call this man a terrorist, a rat, anything you can call, and he's still making millions of
The
dollars.
athletic commission can do something about it. They can suspend his license to be a manager of fighters. That could be a start.
Do you think that's gonna happen though?
Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not, but it should. It should. He is acting work. This video should be Kamaru heading over to Colby, if anything, with Ali restraining him, being the manager that he is. But it's reversed, and that's a problem.
I agree with you.
Why are there there's only 2 managers in this entire game, 2, maybe 3 in this entire MMA game that people talk about? Ali Abdelaziz and the 2 Malky brothers. Why? Because they do the most interviews.
Kawa brothers.
Kawa brothers. What did I say? Malky brothers?
It's the two Malky brothers.
2 Malky brothers.
The two Kawa.
The Kawas.
Hey, shout out to Cowards. I got that. Hey, they show me love.
Yeah,
I got nothing with Ali either. Ali's never done nothing to me.
Exactly.
My whole thing is people.
I don't know Ali personally. I know a lot of people that we've interviewed. They're cool with Ali. They say he's a good dude. We have too many instances like this where he's doing.
Once again, there's no repercussions. There's no reason for why you gonna keep doing something and there's nothing happening. You basically feel like he Teflon Don. He can do what he wants because nothing sticks to him.
I'm not arguing that point. I agree with that. And the problem is nobody's doing anything about it. But here's the thing. There's only 3 managers that get talked about in this game like this because they're the most vocal. Ali does things like this that get him in the headlines, taking away the shine from his athletes. The Cowas, they're vocal. Obviously, John Jones situation. That's why a lot of people know him. Throughout all of John Jones' transgressions, the Cowas have been present. They go on Ariel. They go on the MMA Hour. They do interviews during fight week. They're very vocal out there. My favorite manager in this game right now, Brian Butler. Why? Brian Butler shows up and does his job, and he doesn't say anything. He does his job. He's a good manager. He manages champions like Max Holloway. When's the last time you heard Brian Butler doing something crazy?
No,
Because he's a professional manager. He does his job and goes home and doesn't take shine away from the athletes.
But you gotta admit though, this managership in MMA is make believe, because these fighters, I don't know, because they get hit in the face for a living, they act like they work for the managers, not that the managers work for them. So I don't feel bad for these people. That's why these dudes can do what they want, because they didn't pimp people to thinking that they work for them when it's the other way around.
That is very true. That's very true. And, you know, that's kind of an unfortunate thing, because these fighters got to take, you know, responsibility of their own careers into their hands, man. And, again, there's a lot of people that say Ali does good things, but there's also a lot of reports out there saying Ali does a lot of bad things. You know, when the reports came out about his contracts, like one of his contracts that he makes these guys sign, where it's like they basically signed his entire rights away to him, which is crazy.
Once again,
Crazy.
you two, them two did not have to sign that contract.
Of course, of course, of course. Again, it's that perception that he puts out there that, hey, I get on the mats and train with everybody. I got so and so, like I'm good, like I know everybody. And hey, all that stuff's well and good. I'm just saying, we need less videos like this from Ali. We need less videos like that. So, I mean, he could be a good dude to all his fighters, yada yada yada, all that stuff, all that's well and good. Stop attacking other fighters like you're a fighter too, though. Be professional. Show up. Be a man in the suit. Handle business. Go home.
Yeah, but
get your fighters other contracts. Get them
all this
paid
crazy.
well.
So we're talking about these fighters and stuff like that. What about like on the boxing side? Adrian Broner would never get the fight.
I mean,
like right now, I'm literally watching the fight of Shakur Stevenson and in the streets of Miami Beach, going about that life.
Yeah.
Well, he caught the dude that's twice his size, but he an Olympic fighter and just dropped this cat.
Right.
Did you see that? You see that footage too?
No, I haven't seen it. I'm gonna go look for it here in a few minutes, though. Once we get off of here, but none of that stuff should be tolerated, man. Especially like what did Tatiana tell us on Sunday about Cyborg? She hit her for free. Come on, people. Got to do better. Fighters got to do better. Everybody's got to do better. If you're going to do the trash talking thing, be clever about it. Don't take it too far. You can be funny. Like you can even talk the most basic, bland form of trash talk possible. Don't go to religion. Don't go to family. Know what it is. I think that's about it. You got anything else?
No. Hey, fighters, if y'all about that life, props to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody still hanging out in the chat, go check out our videos that we've got from this past weekend.
Tell them to go to the library. I'll tell you right now, 94 wonderful shows. Everybody from Deontay Wilder, Daniel Cormier, Mr. Kevin Lee, Michelle Karate, Hardy Watterson, Andrew KGB Lee. Show me another podcast that you can have these names all under the same one that's not Nashville. I'll wait for you.
Yeah. Yeah. We're low-key one of the baddest podcasts in the land, so time to get familiar and hop in.
Look at the library. We got receipts.
Absolutely. Go check out all these videos, guys. Alan Joe Band, Tatiana Suarez, Eric Anders, episode 94 this past weekend. So go show those videos some love, give some thumbs up. And of course, if you are not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it. Been another little immediate reaction video for you guys, as we have started to do throughout the week. Slip and Dip at Slip and Dip Podcast. Me at Mr. M. Wells Art. Him at Kendrick John So. Follow us. Hit us up. Let us know what's the deal. And yeah. Until next time, I think this is going to be it. Peace.